Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jace. Thank you for checking out this video, and this is going to be my review for Insecure Season 2, Episode 7. The title of this shit was called Hella Motherfucking Disrespectful. And it was some disrespectful ass bullshit that went on this episode. We gonna jump right on into this shit. Alright, so we open up. Molly and Issa are on the phone. Issa just revealed the splash that she had last week with Daniel's ass. So she's going off talking about, that's mad motherfucking disrespectful. We about to roll up to his house and put some egg yolks in a water gun and go shoot up his house and shit. Like, she's mad. And Issa's like, no, it's cool. And, I'm not trying to do all that as much as that, as great as that sounds. I'm not trying to go that route. However, I really just feel disrespected about that shit. And, I'm really embarrassed more so. She was like, I was just trying to do a good thing, and show him how much I like him and shit like that. But that shooting that nut in the face, that's totally disrespectful. So Molly is like, okay, well, bitch, since we're kind of confiding in each other at this point, let me just go ahead and tell you that I'm still fucking Dro. And Issa, like, she kind of her response was kind of judgmental, I would say. But at the same time, I think that Molly is kind of insecure about the whole thing anyway, and she's kind of embarrassed as well. But anyway, let me just tell you what she said. Okay, so Issa's, her response to her was like, whoa, what, like, you're messing with a married man, like, you're still having an affair. And Molly is trying to justify, it's like, no, it's not an affair because, that's what type of relationship they had. At the end of the day, Molly, you are having an affair with a married man. And the fact that you can't go out in public and be with him publicly as far as in a relationship, that means it's a fucking affair. At the end of the day, the man's married. So Issa made a lot of sense, but, the way she was, and then she was like, oh, well, I guess. She just kind of blew it off. I would said the same bullshit to her ass, too. All right, bitch, I guess. Molly talking about they done had sex 17 times, but she has no intentions on stopping. I'm with you, Issa, on that, I guess. And then Molly tried to, like, clap back and was giving this whole, oh, you're judging me kind of shit. I hate when friends, like, whenever you kind of blow something off or don't really entertain it, or either you give an answer that's something that they don't want to hear, it turns into, oh, you're judging me. And it's like, because you're on your bullshit. So because I don't say what you want me to basically say and what you want to hear, now I'm judging you. It was a little judgmental, but at the end of it, it's like, bitch, all right, bitch, I guess. Bitch, fuck it. You say you ain't got no intentions on stopping, so why the fuck you worried about what Issa's talking about? But anyway, they end up kind of having words back and forth about that, and Molly was basically like, I'm grown, like, I'm just going to do me and you do you. And they kind of, it wasn't really a fight, they just kind of had words, I'll just say that. But, so they kind of was, wasn't really feeling each other this episode. But anyway, moving along, Issa's on her way to work. She gets on the bus, and y'all remember the little Hispanic boy that had ran out from their We Got Y'all meeting or whatever? He ran out with all the snacks and shit. Well, she's been seeing him on the bus because he's been taking the same bus as her. So she actually sits down in the seat next to him, and he's, he knows that she knows that he's full of shit and took her shit. So he's kind of awkward as fuck too in that situation, which it should be. But because you stole from this bitch. But so he pulls out a PSAT book, and Issa's like, well, and I guess she's forgiving the situation clearly, but she says, well, we got y'all, we do PSAT tutoring as well. And he was like, oh, well, I want, that's cool, like I would have done it, but Mr. Gaines, which is the principal, the I guess racist principal, racist principal told us that the program was full, so we can't do it. Because you remember he got all the little black kids in the program, so they're the ones that's actually benefiting from Issa and Frida. No Hispanic kids in the class. So, and that's actually what's been, which driven like the rift between Frida and Issa. So Issa kind of realized like, okay, Mr. Gaines really is up on some bullshit. So she draws up this little proposal, whatever, just of like some ideas which she want to implement in the program or whatever. She goes up to Frida And Frida's not having it. Frida's still, you know, they got into an argument. So Frida's still, like, not really featuring her. So she's like, look, I'm busy with some computer stuff. What you, like, we'll talk later, bitch. I ain't got time for you. Pretty much blowing Issa off. And Issa was like, okay, I just want you to look over these ideas I have about the program to get more Latino children in the program and stuff like that. So, you know, Frida takes a look at it. She's like, damn, well, I had the same ideas as well. So it's cool how we're fighting and we're not really on speaking terms, but we're still in sync, like as far as the ideas and, you know, how we want our program to go. So I thought that was really cute or whatever. And that was basically how they made up. And Issa actually apologized for the way she was reacting to, I guess, responding to Frida's opinions, as well as how Mr. Gaines was handling the situation. She was just kind of blowing the shit off. So, but she realized it was some bullshit that Mr. Gaines is on, and he's clearly a racist ass motherfucker. So, yeah, they made up, and let me finish them two up. So they're out passing flyers to the little Latino kids to try to get more people into the program. And Mr. Gaines just so happens to walk by, and Issa stops him. And she's like, hey, Mr. Gaines, I need to talk to you. And she was like, well, I think I've been negligent as far as my views. What did she say? Basically, I think I gave you the wrong impression about what type of students I wanted in the program. Like, I wanted for everybody, not just the African-American children, but I want to be able to help everybody. And this motherfucker starts laughing in her face and shit, talking. And then Frida's standing by, and she's actually hearing this going on. And she walks up and asks her little two cents, like, yeah, like we want it open to all students and, you know, not just the African-American students. That motherfucking Mr. Gaines, and this is why I was like, okay, he's completely fucking out of order. This motherfucker says, well, don't come at me like with this all lives matter type of shit. If you want Mexicans, his word, if you want Mexicans in your program, then you can do what the fuck you want to do. And kind of blew them off. And Issa was like, whoa. Like, you know, we just want to be able to help all of the children, which is fucking true. That's what the program is based on, you know? And he starts laughing in her goddamn face. And then this nigga gonna say, ain't nobody died, so why, you know, ain't no need to be carrying on like that. Ain't nobody died. And he just turned and walked off, and both of them were just done. They were like, okay, this is some bullshit. So that was it with the whole we got y'all scene. So let's move on to the good shit. The real good shit. All right. Derek, which is Tiffany's husband, he's having a birthday party. So Tiffany sends Issa a text message and saying, hey, you're still coming to the party, right? And she responds, yes, I'm coming. And Tiffany responds back, well, hey, Lawrence is going to be there. Is that cool? And Issa's like, oh, shit. So she does a screenshot, send that shit to Molly. And Issa's like all in her feelings because she's like, you know, like, whoa, like how the fuck am I going to play this shit? She responds back, yeah, it's cool. Issa, I don't think that was a good idea for you to say that. But at the same time, you can't really control who comes to the party. But it was just, I don't know how I feel about that shit. Because Lawrence is Derek's friend, but Lawrence is like a friend of the group. Like, it's Issa and her girls, and then it's Derek, which is Tiffany's husband. But Lawrence was just kind of bought into it because he was the boyfriend of Issa. So for him to, like, actually come to that party, which was pretty much going to be an intimate party, like Tiffany, I didn't really think that was cool, but at the same time, it's Lawrence's friend. But I don't know, that really got me. And I'm usually not really stuck on, I'm not really at a loss for words with that, or with normal situations, but that kind of, I'm still on the fence about that. I would have personally said, yo, like, I don't really feel comfortable, you know, with him coming, but then at the same time, you don't want to seem petty, or seem like you're still on him or whatever, so it's like, yeah, well, you know, Lawrence can come, whatever. That's what she said, it's cool, he comes. I skipped over a little scene, so let me go back a little bit. So Molly comes back in town she was out in Chicago. She comes back in town. Dro just walks up in her fucking apartment, and I'm like, okay, what's... And he's like holding up these keys and shit. So, and he's like, do you want your key back? She's like, no, it's cool. You hold on to it. So this bitch gave this dude, this married fucking man, a key to her apartment to where he can just come in and fuck her anytime he wants. Molly, no ma'am. But that's, and then also she bought him a gift of Garrett's popcorn, which is like a big, like popular popcorn here for tourists and shit like that. It's better popcorn out there, but everybody goes to Garrett's if you, it's some bomb ass popcorn, but everybody goes to Garrett's if you like come to Chicago. Like they're known for popcorn. But anyway, she brings him like a little gift, a gift bag of popcorn or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, Molly, you are doing the most. Like, you're bringing gifts back, which is cool, popcorn, whatever. But like now this man has a key to your apartment and shit. And you could just see in her whole body language that she is really falling for Dro. Did I just call him Derek? Anyway, she's really falling for Dro, and it's so evident. Like you can... Oh, I said, Molly, this shit ain't gonna end well for you, girl. But anyway, they're kissing and shit. And she also had received a text from Tiffany about the birthday party or whatever, the birthday dinner for Derek. And Joe's like, oh, yeah, she invited me too. And Candace and I are going to be there together. And you could see all over Molly's face. The bitch was like, oh, okay. So you're going to be there with your wife. Awkward as fuck. But anyway, he was like, are you going to be cool with that? And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm good. And I haven't seen Candace since, the cupcake shop, so I haven't seen her since we've been fucking, so it's going to be a little awkward, but I'll get through it. We'll all be cool. Whatever. Issa. No, Daniel calls Issa to apologize for squirting in her face last week. And she was still mad. She picks up the phone like, what do you want? And he's just like, yo, like, I just wanted to call to apologize about that. Like, I didn't mean it. Basically, I mean, bitch, I thought you was into that shit. That's what you was doing. You was coming off like a hoe. And, bitch, you claim you been on your hoe shit. Bitch, that may happen to a hoe every now and then. Ask a hoe. But, yeah, he was just apologetic and shit. And he sounded so fucking sexy. Like... He's like, can you please forgive me? And he kept saying, please, please, please. And it was just turning me the fuck on. And it's like fucking 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm watching this shit. But I'm just like, oh, Issa, forgive this man. And invite his motherfucking ass to the party. That's how my petty ass think. Invite him as your fucking date. You know Lawrence is going to be there. Invite Daniel as your goddamn date. Hello. Anyway, so she kind of caved into the apology, and she was like, I hate you. And, she was like, it's just weird how our relationship is. Like, we kind of have this weird love-hate relationship. And, but then this dude fucking goes on to say, now we're even. And he was like, yeah, because you done some fuck shit. And I did some fuck shit. We both done some fuck shit or something like that. She was like, well, what do you mean? Like, what fuck shit have I done? And he said, I don't know if he was referring to him kind of, or for her kind of like dropping him after the whole Lawrence thing, or maybe that shit when she got in the accident, like how they was fucking around and she just kind of blew him off. And I don't know exactly what he was referring to as far as her doing her fuck shit, what specific event, but she has been fucking around with him doing some bullshit with his fine ass. But, yeah, he shouldn't have said that, because she was like, wait a minute, like, what fuck shit have I been on? I ain't done shit. And he was like, well, like, what the fuck you mean we even now? So you basically came in my face on purpose just to get back at me so we could be even? And he was like, well, yeah, like, I just kind of wanted you to know how it felt to be kind of disrespected. And she fucking went off, and she was like, you a disrespectful, petty ass nigga, and like started going the fuck off. And she told him, don't you ever fucking call me again. And I was like, no, Issa, no. Make it right. Damn, he just shot you in the face. It was an accident, well, apparently not. But Daniel, why you have to say that bullshit? Fuck. But anyway, she hung up on his, cussed him the fuck out and hung up on his motherfucking ass. So hopefully that's not the end of Daniel, because I wouldn't be able to personally handle that. But yeah, I wish she would have just made that shit right and fucking invited him to the damn birthday dinner as her date. Fuck. To get Lawrence's motherfucking ass, because he pissed me the fuck off this episode. But anyway, so let's talk about Lawrence and this girl, Aparna, or I thought it was Athena and then Apina or Alpina, whatever the girl's name is that he works with. Just kind of giving Middle Eastern teas. Really cute girl. She's a little hard for, she's not really like the feminine girly type of girl. Like, damn, what was that girl's name? The girl from the bank. What was her name? Her Instagram name, I used to call her. Tosh Money, something, whatever the fuck her IG name was. But she's not the typical, like, girly girl that I guess Lawrence has kind of been into lately. Actually, hell, Issa isn't even a girly girl, but anyway, she's not that girly girl type of chick. She's a little hard. But she's really cute, and it seems like they've been hanging out. They actually went to the movies, and it actually was a scene where they were at work, and everybody, them nosy ass fucking coworkers was like, "Oh yeah, I heard you guys went to the movies," and Lawrence was like, yeah, like we were just hanging out, like it wasn't anything serious." And he kind of came for Alpina and was like, yeah, I just don't want the work business out like that. She's like, okay, cool. Like, I don't really want the business out either, but, whatever. So they're supposed to meet up for drinks, I think either the next day, which is the day of the party, because Lawrence is going to the party. And he basically invites her as his date. And it's like, he first starts off with like, hey, I got this little thing I need to go to first. So could we push our little drink meeting back to about 10 o'clock? She's like, oh, well, or is it a place you're going to? Like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I'm just going to a birthday dinner, but my ex is going to be there. And she was like, well, we can just cancel it, or I can come with you, I said, well, that's going to be some bullshit. As soon as he said, yeah, okay, you can come as my plus one. Actually, it wasn't even no plus ones. He just happened to bring this bitch because it was like a quiet, intimate sit-down dinner or whatever. But, yeah, he decided to bring her as his date. And I'm like, Lawrence, that's not going to end well for you, sir. Don't do that. Especially since Issa is going to be there. So then, moving on along. Issa is like looking Lawrence up on Facebook. And I don't know how this works because I'm not really a Facebooker, but I don't even know how the whole blocking thing works. But I guess when you type in somebody's name and they blocked you, you can't even search for them or something. So that's what happened because she was trying to look up his page and it said she couldn't find him or his name didn't exist or some shit like that. However the fuck that goes. But she's like, oh, okay, now this motherfucker done blocked me. So keep that in mind. So let's move on to this party. This is when they got extra messy. All the girls are there. Kelly done bought that dude who was fingering her in the restaurant. That's her little boo now. So Molly's there already. And then walks in Dro and Candace. And I didn't realize, I guess the scene was so quick. When we first met Candace when they were in the cupcake shop, I didn't realize that was Janae from the game. I don't even know her real name, but I just know her as Janae. So every time I see her, I think that was one of my favorite shows back in the day, the game. But yeah, I was like, oh, Janae. Like, girl, I didn't even recognize you, bitch. But yeah, so Janae is actually Candace in this series. So he shows up with her, and he walks straight up to Molly. And the first thing he says to her is, oh, you have on my favorite dress I see. Like, kind of whispering to her. I'm like, Dro, you were already out of line. You're trying it. And then Candace walks up and she tries to have a conversation with Molly. And Molly's being all fucking awkward and shit. She ends up spilling a drink and shit. And Dro walks off to go get Molly another drink. And Candace is just trying to have a small talk with her or whatever. But she's just being awkward and shit. Anyway, Um, in walks Issa, and Issa brought her brother along. He's a mess, but he's really cute though, but he's a mess. Really shady and catty. Him and Kelly just do not get a fucking along. But yeah, Issa's date was her brother, and I mean he's a part of a little circle too because he's really seems like he's really cool with Tiffany, so they be joking and kicking and shit. So yeah, so she walks in and they have these signature cocktails, the Tiffany and the Derek. Tiffany is some kind of rosé splash of vermouth cocktail, and Derek's cocktail is some kind of amaretto sour. Derek, that's why I said I don't. What man sits around and drink amaretto sours? Why would that be your signature drink, Derek? Girl. Anyway. Issa and her brother, Issa decides she's not going to drink that night, or, whatever. She just ordered a soda water, and the brother was like, fuck that bitch, give me all these drinks. He took both of them. So they sit down, and they're about to have dinner. In walks Lawrence and, I can't remember this girl's name, Alpina. In walks Lawrence and Alpina together. And everybody's already looking at them. Kelly, first thing out her motherfucking mouth is, oh no, this nigga didn't bring this bitch up in here. I was fucking cracking up. Kelly just has no filter. She just don't give a fuck about any fucking thing. She says whatever. Like, I know I have no filter, but like she's like on a 12 compared to my 8. You know what I mean? But she just don't give a fuck. She says whatever the fuck she wants to say. But anyway, no, this nigga didn't. And then they're both looking uncomfortable, like, damn. And Lawrence is like, well, shit, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know this was going to be like a sit-down kind of intimate dinner. I guess he just thought it was just going to be like a little get-together party or something. A bunch of different people, hanging around talking and shit. But, yeah, so Tiffany is like, okay, it's cool. Derek goes and grabs another chair and shit to add to the table for Alpina. And you could see motherfucking Issa, like, her whole demeanor just gave, okay, this is some bullshit. This bitch says, okay, fuck the club soda. Give me a motherfucking whiskey. Because I see where this shit's about to go tonight. So, start eating dinner, and they're all having these little sideline conversations and shit. Dro and his wife Candace are having a conversation with Tiffany, and Molly's all the way at the opposite end of the table, but yet she's listening to what's going on down here, and she's like trying to chime into the conversation at the other end of the table, and she's just getting that feeling like, damn, okay, like Candace and Dro are really an item, and I'm just that sideline bitch sitting at the other end of the motherfucking table. But yeah, she started getting her feelings about that and shit, and Issa's rolling her eyes and shit at Lawrence. He's down at the other end of the table. She's rolling her eyes and shit at him. I'm like, this dinner is a goddamn mess. Kelly is talking about some bullshit about she didn't know Biggie Smalls was there. Some random shit. Kelly is a goddamn clown. But she's mixing up both of the drinks together, talking about this shit tastes better mixed together, and just being a fool. But Tiffany gets up and she's thanking everybody for coming out and celebrating Derek's birthday and all of this shit. And as she's saying this, Issa, I guess she is filling her whiskey at this point. Bitch was just sipping down. So as Tiffany's making this speech, and she's like, oh yeah, and we got some randos in here too. I said, oh, Issa, girl. Brother, I don't even know the brother's name. I'm like, bitch, if you don't snatch her cocktail, because this bitch is carrying on in this function. She needs to stop drinking. And I'm like, Issa is crazy. And he knew that she was already on some bullshit anyway. So when she even got in the car with his ass talking about how she was pissed off with niggas and shit like that. So you see this bitch drinking. You already know your sister. She's about to cut a damn fool. So Issa gets up after that little comment she made about the random, talking about Lawrence's date. She gets up and walks outside. Molly looks at Lawrence and is like you need to go handle that. Go talk to her. So Lawrence gets his ass up and walks outside. I said, oh shit. Shit's about to go down. And that's exactly what the fuck happened. They get outside on the curb. Whew. Lord. Whew. Issa's better than me. Okay. Lawrence goes up to her, asking her what the problem is and shit like that. She just kind of pops off and talking about, yeah, you couldn't fucking wait to bring a fucking date in here and knowing that I'm going to be here and all this shit. And then you had the fucking nerve to block me on Facebook and shit. And he's like, well, I was tired of seeing you with the nigga who you fucked. Like they were going the fuck off. And he was like, how many niggas have you fucked since when we were together and shit like that? And are you still fucking that nigga? Like, really coming for her? And I was like, whoa, Lawrence. Like, I know this is the first time they've actually talked since the breakup. Like, actually been able to kind of hash out whatever the fuck. So it was all this pent up bullshit from both of their asses. So, and she was like, well, how are you gonna come at me about fucking him? You fucking a bitch at the bank? No. He said, how the fuck you gonna fuck him and then fuck me at the same time? And she was like, well, that's the same thing you was doing with me and that bitch from the bank. You came over and fucked me while you fucking this bitch from the bank. I said, get him. Come on, Issa, get him. And then she kind of cut deep. She said something about the, he was like, well, yeah, you fucking this wannabe producer and shit like that. And she was like, well, he got a lot more going on than Woo Woo. I said, ooh. She said, by the way, how the fuck is Woo Woo going? Because I don't see that app available in my app store on my phone. I said, oh, Issa, you better slow it down because he might slap your ass. Because y'all know his Woo Woo idea just got trashed last episode by the company he works for. So, yeah. And he had been working on that for years and shit like that. And she was like, well, was all this shit worth it? Like, I'm, like, fucking taking care of you, pretty much supporting you while you was laying on my motherfucking couch for 2-3 years, working on this woo-woo shit. Like, how's that panned out for you? I said, oh, she was just cutting deep. But I get it. Like, they were both just in the fucking moment and just letting each other have it. But, yeah, she was like, he pretty much ended up, like, to wrap that up, he called her a hoe. I'm trying to think what he said or what was said after that. Okay, basically, he was like, well, we called that bitch a hoe and shit. And then the girl, Alpina, walked out and she was like, hey, you know, what's going on? Are you okay? You know, and then he was like, yeah, let's go. And fucking took Alpina and walked off. Issa's standing there looking crazy. And I'm just like, I would have probably blacked the fuck out. Like, you're not about to sit there and call me all kind of whores and hoes and shit like that and questioning who I'm fucking and all that bullshit. So that was that. And, yeah, they end up walking off and going to another bar and having some drinks. And they was making out on the damn couch, Lawrence and Alpina. Yeah, so that was the end of that. So then, back inside of the party, I knew it was about to be some shit with Dro and Molly. Dro gets up to go to the restroom. Molly gets her skank ass up and goes to follow him. And she's in the bathroom with him or whatever. And he's like, yo, are you cool? You know, I know it's kind of awkward or whatever. Like, I haven't really been able to talk to you much tonight because, you know, Candace is here and all that shit. Next thing I know, they're fucking on the bathroom sink. Once again, you see his little flat, skinny ass. I can't withdraw. Like, he's an attractive man, but he is just so goddamn skinny. It just, like, every time I see his sex things, I'll be like, ugh. The good thing about him, like, he's tall. I think that's the only thing that's attractive. Now, he has a cute face. His teeth are kind of weird, but anyway, they fuck in the bathroom. And I'm thinking the whole time, I'm thinking like, oh shit, I'm thinking Candace about to bust in this bathroom, or either this bitch is waiting outside of the door or whatever for, you know, to see what the fuck's going on. So after they finish fucking, he pulls out, puts it back in his pants. Again, my mind, where's the fucking condom? Anyway, he's like, okay, well, this is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go out first, then you wait a few minutes and then come out after me. That's when Molly was like, okay, this is some bullshit. Like, I'm not about to be treated like some sideline bitch. Like, I can't keep doing this. So now we gotta creep around in a restaurant and shit. And I'm like, Molly, bitch, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen? This is a married man at the end of the day. Like, y'all are best male and female friend, but like, at the end of the day, like, that's his wife. Like, When they're together, they're together. When they're apart doing their separate things, then that's what it is. But bitch, that's why you can't fuck people in your circles, your friends. I keep reiterating that. Like, you can't do that bullshit, Molly. That shit wasn't gonna work out. But anyway, that's when the light bulb finally went off in this bitch's head, and she was like, "Yo, I can't do this bullshit." And he pretty much was like she looked like a she looked like the hoe actually. Calling it what it is, she looked like the hoe. He fucked her in the bathroom, went back out and sat down next to his wife. You look like the side chick hoe that just got fucked in the bathroom. So as Molly comes out of the restroom, Issa's standing there. Remember, they had kind of got into it, so they really hadn't been speaking the whole night anyway. Issa's standing right there, catch this bitch right as she's walking out of the restroom, and she kind of like, Issa kind of fixes Molly's little wig, fix her bang over that wig. Anyway, and Molly pulls a price tag hanging from Issa's dress or whatever, and Issa's like, "Oh yeah, I was gonna take this dress back." Anyway, that was their way of kind of, okay, girl, like, let's just bury this bullshit and move the fuck on. So they kind of walked away or whatever. So Molly finally calls her mom. I've been carrying on for 31 minutes. Sorry. That's longer than the goddamn show. But anyway, this episode was just too much for me. But Molly fucking calls her mom. She's like, "Yeah, Mom, I've been really busy. I'm sorry. And I just needed some time to kind of process all that shit about her dad cheating on her mom and shit 35 years ago." So she starts questioning her mom and shit, which I guess is probably normal. Like, how did you get over that? And her mom was like, at the end of the day, I don't think I really have, but I just love that man so much. And, she's like, "What made you stay?" And this man her mom's like, "Yeah, this man, he just made me feel special. Like, this is the man that I was supposed to be with. And yeah, he may have fucked up in the past, but I still love this man." So she kind of cleared that with her mom. And I guess that kind of conversation kind of made it click in Molly's head. Like, hey, I don't just want to be a sideline bitch. I don't want to just be getting fucked. Like, I want a real relationship, and I want somebody who loves me for me. So she gets back to her apartment, and Dro texts her. It's like, "Hey, I'll be back in town next Thursday. You want to hang out then?" And she responds, "I can't do this anymore." About fucking time, Molly. But let's see how long that shit's gonna last. So final scene. Issa is feeling like complete and utter shit. So she walks into her apartment. She has a rent increase notice on the door. They always putting fucking notes on the door. Every time you see them moving through the apartment, it's always some fucking notices about some bullshit on the goddamn doors. I always notice that shit. That's ridiculous. But she's feeling like shit. She walks into her apartment. She looks up at the ceiling where the smoke damage is from the party she had. And this bitch just flips the fuck out. And she's clearing tables and shit. I thought my elbow was like white Asha. Or is it? Oh, that's just the sunlight, sorry. But she clearing tables and shit, just tearing up her apartment, throwing chairs and shit. And I notice a lot of people do that in like different movies and shows, and I'm like, I ain't never been that mad at a motherfucker to where I just start tearing out my own shit. And then I gotta clean this shit up and think about it again, and fuck that. I'll tear up your shit, but I ain't tearing up my motherfucking shit. I'm so petty. But y'all, that's how it ended. Episode went off after that, and I was just like really gagging. This was a lot, this episode, but I still want to know how the fuck, like, if Candace is ever going to find out that Dro has been fucking Molly. Because that's just too much. And I just really wanted it to happen this episode. That's what I was anticipating when Dro was telling Molly that, hey, Candace is going to be there. I just knew some shit was going to come up at this party. But it didn't. So, yeah. That was it. Thank y'all for sticking in for 34 minutes, watching my crazy ass. But I will see y'all asses next week for episode 8. Later.